Yo, I'm gonna say something to you guys you probably don't know about me. I didn't even know about this about me, but I have a dark side, and it's been developing. And all this stuff I talk about, economics and stuff like that, and try to educate and help people along. You know, I've had a long career in finance, trading, exchange memberships, etc. Blah blah blah. But now, like, I want to see. I'm going to tell you this honestly. I want to see like massive spending cuts in government. I want to see that. Like, I've always argued how that would be a really, really bad thing. But now, after years and years of looking at comments from people, not just on this channel, but just out there in the media and stuff like that, politicians, journalists, economists, even, talking about government, runaway government spending and this and that, and they're printing money, they're printing money. I want to see, like, I really want to see. I hope Elon Musk, I hope Trump's, lets him loose, man. And I hope he does that 2 trillion. I hope he does more than 2 trillion. Like, I really want to see, because it's not going to affect me, okay? Maybe it'll affect me a little bit, but like, I'll make money in that. All right? But I want all these people to see to experience what they're talking about and what they believe in. I want that to happen. And I'm not just being, this is not like, I'm not being facetious here, and I'm not trying to like, play a game. Like, I've come to the point where like, I really want to see that happen. I really want to see like all these people here. Oh, MMT is printing money. You like money printing. I'm with you now. 100%, 1,000%. Like, I really hope, like, I'm hoping for this. If there was a vote tomorrow that we get to vote on this stuff, and I'm being totally serious now. Totally serious. If there was a vote tomorrow, just like we had a presidential vote now, if the country got to vote and there were a choice, you want to see massive cuts in government spending, or you want it to stay the way it is, I would tick off that I want to see massive cuts in government spending. Even if there's tax cuts. I mean, the bigger the cuts, the better. And I'm telling you, I'm being totally, totally serious on this. I really want this to happen. I want them to like all these people, we got to shrink the government. We got to let you have your money. The government, they're printing money. They're printing money. Actually, you know what would even be better? I'll tell you what would even be better. Let's go back on the gold standard. Let's go back. Let's go back on the gold standard. And I'm not, again, folks, I'm being totally honest here. I'm not kidding around. I'm not playing around. Like, I know I have the knowledge to know what to do. And that's not bragging. I don't think like I'm any kind of special genius or anything like that. But, I've learned. I came from the same belief system as a lot of you people. Like, I've told this story before. Like, I was one of the first guest hosts of CNBC Squawk Box back in 1996 when they started that show. I was a regular guest host on that show. I used to sit next to the late Mark Haynes, who was the anchor. And I'd come in like every month, once a month. I was living in Europe at the time, in Switzerland. I'd fly in, I'd do the show. They didn't pay for it. I would just come in, do the show. And I wish I still had my old tapes, because I was saying the same stuff like, America's bankrupt. We're borrowing from China. The dollar's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. All right? We can't pay our debts. But I learned, right? I didn't stick into this dogma when my mind, at least, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but when I start to see things that don't make sense, like stuff is not happening the way it should, and B, there's another paradigm, another explanation for it that makes sense, and it that the way that's describing it, it plays out that way. So anyway, I think we should, if that was a vote, I would vote for it. Go back on the gold standard. And I'm being totally serious about this. You may think I'm joking around or playing around. Look, I did a video the other day where I said, like, I divorced myself from the MMT kind of, this kind of groupie crowd, I would call them. The groupie crowd, I'm calling them that because, like, they're hanging on to MMT. They have podcasts. They have, group chats and stuff like that on Twitter and X, and how, life would be so wonderful if only our, leaders and policymakers would adopt MMT and blah, blah, blah. I divorced myself from those people. I was asked many times to appear on their shows. I said I can't because, you're just wallowing in this victimhood. And there it is, like the information is right there. If you take the time, instead of whining and crying like a little baby and a victim and how, woe is me, the system is rigged and it's the government, you got the information right there. Everything is right there for you. It's like imagine you need to do a project and you have everything sitting in front of you, the toolbox, the tools, the hardware, the lumber, the concrete, whatever. And you say, I can't build this thing. I don't know what I'm going to do. And everything is freaking right there sitting in front of you. So I divorced myself from that because I thought, look, my words are just falling on deaf ears. I mean, it's obvious to me that these people just want to stay victims all the time. And they use MMT to say, if only. Let me tell you something. I'm not into if only. I do stuff. Okay? I do stuff. I don't do if only. If it's something that I can't get my hands on or get a hold of or utilize to my advantage, I move on into something else. I find something to help me get to where I want to go. All right? One way or another. But I'm serious about this, now I got to say something even more. I'm starting to really appreciate you guys who come on here and say, you're a money printer, you're into money printing, and the government's spending too much money. And I think we need more of those comments. And I think hopefully with this presidency and Elon Musk as the Doge guy, the Department of Government Efficiency, we're going to get those cuts, $2 trillion. I hope it's more than $2 trillion. I really do. And I'm being 100% honest here because it's not going to affect me. Maybe a little bit it will, but okay. Life has ups and downs, but I'll make money in that environment and I'll be able to take care of myself. A lot of you won't. And especially, the great news is all of you who are saying that you need these cuts and shrink the government and I want to keep more of my money and blah, blah, blah. You're going to be hit the hardest, man. I'm telling you, because I know this, because you're not very educated, at least in the sense of how things work. You're in a belief system, you're in a mythology, and you cling to that. So I really want it to happen. You could call me a jerk, you could call me an asshole, whatever, but I really want that to happen. I never used to be this way. It used to upset me. I'm telling you, it used to upset me when I heard any politician talking about stuff like that. We got to cut spending, we got to cut Social Security. I get Social Security. I'm happy to get it, but go ahead, cut it. See what happens. cut Medicare, cut Social Security, cut Medicaid, cut unemployment benefits. I'm on board with all that stuff because I think it's time. People got to wake up. They got to learn. And just like in this election, this whole woke business and DEI and, gender changes and all of this stuff that the left, and it was totally repudiated. Okay, and the Hollywood preaching to us, talking down on their noses at us, saying like how they have, we have to listen to them. If not, we're garbage or we're Nazis or we're rapists or something like that. We got to learn the same kind of lesson on an economics front. And I'm being totally serious on this. I really am. It's not going to affect me. I don't think it's going to affect my subscribers. But this needs to happen, and I really hope it does. I'm hoping for it. I really am. So anyway, that's a little message I wanted to put out there. And I'm going to go watch football now. Bye.